legacy.
Mm-hmm.
There, you sit down with other wineries, they're working on, building up a legacy or maintaining a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You found yourself in kind of a unique position of you took Jimmy's idea of wanting to build legacy and you put that burden completely on your back.
Mm-hmm.
And, hopefully in the next 3 to 5 years, that legacy will be passed on.
Yes.
What I'm curious. So what internal, like, foundational beliefs made you, like, on the flip of the dime,
Yeah,
want to continue that legacy so much?
Survival, I think, for of our family, the Brooks family, because we had lost our parents. Jimmy and I had in 2000.
Right.
And then he unexpectedly passed away in 2004. And like that was it. Poof, boom, right? My whole family.
Right.
I had moved away from Oregon. I grew up here in Portland, moved away to go to college, never came back, didn't think I'd ever come back. So this brought me back to Oregon, which was super important. And it reconnected me to family friends, childhood friends, Jimmy's friends.
Right.
So that was part of it. Definitely was kind of for myself to keep my family present in my life. Clearly, Jimmy's friends shared with me that the only thing he mentioned he ever had to leave for his son was the winery. So there was a little bit of that.
That makes sense. Yes.
And especially, when Pascal was 8 years old, had this not continued, had it not continued, I don't know if he would be as connected to a lot of Jimmy's friends the way that he is. The winery's just been this platform for connection for both him and I to stay as close to Jimmy as possible. People with a heart like Chris, and this was big for me too. 12 different winemakers made our wine in 2004 when Jimmy passed. And a lot of them offered to continue to do that. But it was really when Chris tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, if you're thinking about it all continuing this, I'll come be your winemaker and I'll keep it true to Jimmy's style and philosophy.
Right.
He's the only person I've ever learned from. And that was important to me too. We've really tried to keep it Jimmy's brand.
And you've done a great job.
I mean, we've grown it for sure because we had to, or we wouldn't have survived.
Right.
And we have a lot more wines and obviously a lot more vineyard contracts. But, his core beliefs in Riesling and restoring the reputation of it, biodynamic farming, high acid, food friendly Pinot Noirs, accessible price points, like those are things that we haven't changed.
Right. It's I was back in November. I was at De Lanceletti's kind of Thanksgiving celebration, and I was talking with Paul, and just like he started talking about Jimmy, just like he's still around, and just it's amazing his spirit is so alive out here in wine country.
Yeah, and part of that's because this is here too, right?
Correct. Yes.
It's funny too because for our 20-year anniversary a couple years ago, we interviewed all the winemakers. We had Linfield was doing their interview series, and so we kind of piggybacked on that to do a little bit like, what's your favorite memory of Jimmy, favorite memory of Pascal? They all got asked back then, did you think the winery would still exist today? And I mean, I'll just never forget. I think it was Josh Bergstrom who just kind of giggled and was like, we all thought Janie was nice. But we didn't think she had a clue,
Well, in reality, you didn't.
I didn't,
but
no. Yeah.
You made it work.
Yeah. He's like, now she's a force.
You are. I mean, you have all those cloned robots out there, doing all your evil deeds out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and they're not evil deeds. I'm playing.
Yeah. So it's good. It feels good.
It does.
Yeah.
It's, I know when I first came across this story, I was just like, and that was a huge rabbit hole. So it's, it is quite a story.
And very much the vision of those 12 winemakers to keep the brand alive, right? They easily could have taken the fruit, kept it for themselves, and said, you can shut it down. And I would have probably said okay to that too, right? Because I didn't know the difference really.
Right. That's the spirit of the Oregon wine
Oh, it
community.
is
It is.
so important, and so it's so real, and it's still, it's just still here in so many ways.